There we go. That is Stereo Slaves, aka Mark Ross. Hold the Light. Great vocal. Really, really nice track. The two times that I've heard this now, I did think this is just a stylistic thing as well, so I'm pretty sure what I'm saying is just subjective. The percussion seemed a little bit like high in the mix. Yeah, and I want the vocals to be a bit more prominent. Yeah, I feel like the you've got like a hi-hat on the 16ths and it's panning left and right. I feel like it's a little bit high in the mix, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, but it did feel a little bit distracting to me, but that's probably because I mix it down slightly differently. It's probably not even something that other people will hear. And psychologically, as another producer, as a fellow producer, what have I been working on recently? My percussion. So I'm going to be kind of primed to listening out for stuff. So a high pat, yes. Yes, Richie, that's exactly what it is. So yeah, it's not really something that's relevant, really. Up. I love it. I love that vocal. Where is the vocal from? And shout out to everyone that's been saying about using Fiverr for vocals. That's such a good idea. As someone who has been promised vocals from people that I know who are singers and then they just don't get back to me, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go to Fiverr. I'm sick of it. Like I try not to take it personally. I don't know whether it's just people like forget, or they're shy, or I don't know. But like people are like, oh yeah, I want to work with you, when they're twatted at a gig, and they're like, oh, I'm really good at vocals. Let's do a track together. And I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Because you said that you're going to do it, and now you're not. And then like it's just bullshit. Like, it just annoys me. So yeah, if I go, I'm just gonna go to Fiverr from now on. Yeah, I hate relying on people as well, and I'm one of those people that can be. I'm not. No, I wouldn't say that I'm unreliable. Do you know what I am? I can be slow at getting stuff done, but I don't forget to get it done. I'll always have it in the back of my mind, because I don't like saying one thing and then doing another. This is a really good thing. If you are one of those people that say stuff and then you don't do it, you will start to distrust yourself if you do that over time. If you're one of those people that says stuff and then you like change your mind, even down to agreeing to go out with your friends, and then the date gets closer and then you get like the social anxiety. So then you cancel your plans right at the last minute. Boundaries are really important. So you got to be, if you don't want to do something, you got to get used to saying no, and that's okay to say no. In fact, people will respect you and like you more if you just say no, then tell them that you're going to do it and then you don't do it, because that is actually worse than just saying, look, I don't feel like doing that. Or, you don't have to like shout in their faces like, no, you can. But yeah, it's if you carry on doing that infinitely over and over again, you will find in life that you won't trust yourself. So you'll never feel solid as a person. Even though you think you've changed your mind, the fact that you're saying one thing and then doing another, it really plays on us as people. A really good example would be in addiction, any addiction that you've got. Oh, I'm going to give up smoking, for example. And then you don't. And then it's like your inner child is like, yeah, but you said that you were going to give up smoking, and then you're not. And then you make excuses for it. That's like, you got to start being okay with saying no, and you've got to start saying what you mean. So if any of you out there are people that say one thing and do another, stop it. I've had to start doing it. Like, people ask me all the time, oh yeah, we should go back to back. I should come to your house and do a live stream with you. And I'm like, no. And I will say, no, I won't do that, because I don't know you, and you want to come into my home where my children are, and this is my space. Like, no. And most of the time people will be all right with that. Sometimes they like will just go, ugh, and then they'll walk off and not talk to me again. And I had to be okay with that as well, because then I'd get like the social compliance thing of like, and the empathy, the overreaching empathy of, oh, I've really upset that person now. But now I'm at a stage where I'm like, oh good, because now I don't need to talk to you anymore. Does anyone else relate to that? But yeah, it's very important. I've had it done to me. I've said to certain people, oh, we should do a collab, and they're like, no, I don't want to. I'm like, okay, cool, it's fine. It's okay to say no to people, and don't get upset at people. Was it Guy? Oh, the drag scene is awful for it. Yeah, you got to protect your energy. Now, me saying no can change. It can change sometimes, but I am very protective over my energy now, and I implore you guys to be the same. And that doesn't mean always saying no. It just means, like, if you're overstretched, then be okay with saying no. So I'll allow that. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Hello, Direct Vinyl. But me saying that, I don't want it to scare people off coming and talking to me, and asking me things. Like, that's not it either. But it's just something that, it annoys me when people say one thing and do another, with vocals. So yeah, like I said, I think it's a really great idea to possibly go to Fiverr. Having that monetary exchange, I think, can help things as well, and the fact that it's more of a business kind of a thing. But yeah, I like the fact that you're using Fiverr for vocals. This is a great tune again, Mark. I really, really like it. And yeah, he says, I know it needs work. I think it's pretty much there, babe. But that's what we're here for. This isn't for just finished releases. In fact, the demo drop in itself is more so a place for all of us when we get to a stage in the production stage and you're like, I don't know if it's done yet. I don't know what it needs, or, if anyone, spare pair of ears kind of thing. So yeah, thank you for sending it in. And guys, make sure you follow in Mark Ross, please, aka Stereo Slaves. There you go. There's the link again. Next up, we have got JLF, Jimmy D, Riley James, and this track is called Get Down. Sorry about that. I really needed to have a wee. I don't like to test my kidneys anymore after what happened. Yeah, that's the first time I've actually run out of track. Yeah. Oh, sorry. What a tune! What a tune! I really like this, Josh. Like I was saying in the... No, don't worry. It is short, but the kids like it short now. So... No! Just move on. Oh my God. Hang on a second. Okay. I really like this song. It's really good. If you guys want to follow Josh on his socials, I'm just going to put SoundCloud in the chat right now. There you go. Yeah, trying to be cool and down with the kids. Riley's only 17, so kept us down with the kids. Right, okay, so if you've got a child, well, not a child, you're not a child at 17, but if you've got someone who's kind of that teenage, yeah, that's always a good way of doing a track that's kind of younger people. Gen Z, is it Gen Z now? Is it Gen Z? Gen Z friendly? I might start doing that with my kids, actually. Just get them to listen to my music. Mind you, if I did that, I'd probably cry. We've had India on the show before. She wasn't exactly rude, but she was just like, it's all right, but you know, it wouldn't be on my playlist. Might be on someone else's playlist, but it wouldn't be on my playlist. Kids can be brutal. But yeah, really cool track. I love the old school elements to it. Trying to really place it. Like I would play this in like a hard house groovy kind of a set. But yeah, one of the things that really stuck out to me was what you've done with this vocal. Now, I did ask you in the chat what you'd put on it, and it wasn't what I was expecting. I can't remember which reverb it was that I used to use years ago. I think it was a Melder. It was a Melder plugin. I love Melder stuff, by the way. Melder plugins are like the most slept on brand ever. Melder is hard to pronounce. It's not hard. Melder. See? Valhalla, also nice. But there was something in, I'm sure this was one of the Melder reverb plugins that I've got. There's a head on it, right? On the GUI. And you can place the sound within like the stereo field in a way that it made it sound 3D. It's made it sound like it was kind of like not really moving around you, but it was like it would be placed in a way that was just like it would set it in this really big way, really wide way. Yeah, it was really cool. I used to mess around with it all the time. And I used to use it a lot, and you've just reminded me to go and use it again, because when I heard this bass when I heard your vocal through my monitors, it felt like it was here. It was here, which is a really cool psychoacoustic effect. So whatever it is that you've done there, yeah, it was really cool. The new FL Vintage chorus is really nice for movement. Maybe it was that then as well. Maybe that had something to do with it. But yeah, it just reminded me of this Melder plugin that I used to use quite a lot, and you could place it somewhere within the stereo field. Isn't there another? Did FabFilter come out with a new plugin again recently? Like in the last couple of days? Me and Guy were talking about it. Hello, Campbell. Yeah, if anyone's not already using Melder stuff, please look into them. Yeah, please, Josh, because I'm really interested to know. Did you know that most audio effects are just fast copies, delays, slightly modified, applied to original signal? Really? What, like snapshots? Like that kind of thing. Pro Q4, was it Pro Q4? Ooh. Pro Q4. Look. Pro Q4. So what is the difference? Yeah, it was Pro Q4 that he was on about. I want to know what it is that they've got in it now. Have a look at this together. Collectively. Is a family. Pro Q4. Equalize probably blah 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 blah. Oh my god, I can't even read. Blah 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 blah. Just tell me what's new. Mixing and mastering features. Top quality linear phase operation in addition to the zero latency and unique natural phase modes. Didn't it already have linear phase? I'm pretty sure it did. Oh, no. Yeah, now we're talking, baby. Full surround support up to Dolby Atmos 916. We're doing about Dolby Atmos at uni. I'm going to be making a tune in Dolby Atmos next year. Auto gain, yeah. Built-in, fully customizable spectrum analyzer. We've had that already for a little while, I think. This Pro Q4 is designed to help you tune and sound on the way. Unique features like spectrum grab. What do you mean by spectrum grab? Oh, those things. Yeah, we know that. We know. An EQ match. Okay, EQ match is new, isn't it? I don't think we had that before. Melder again have got an EQ match. MIDI learn, we've had that. Okay. With Pro Q4, you can control any other plugin instance in your session from a single interface. Okay, now we're talking. This is awesome. Again, Melder have had this for a long time. I think it was called Auto EQ, there was one of them where you could set it so that it would listen to the one and then it could like EQ match or carve out from that place. I hope you guys can see this, by the way. Yeah, you can. Okay, cool. Spectral dynamics processing. In spectral dynamics mode, it triggers per specific frequency within a band. When it exceeds a threshold, leaving other frequencies untouched. Didn't it do that before with just dynamic EQ, or is this? No, didn't do that before. What is this? Typically, you would need a separate and often complex plugin for this type of processing, but Pro Q4 makes the process simple to use and easy to understand as a natural extension of normal dynamic processing. So this is getting a bit more like smart EQ. Just draw the curve you need. Yes! What a simple idea. What a simple idea. Do you know what does have this, actually? Edison. FL Studio has the ability to draw in a curve, which is really cool. EQ Sketch, nice. Yeah. Key features. Yeah, Awesome. So yeah, this is a very interesting and very good upgrade from Pro Q3. Pro Q3, I know it's most probably been out for a long time now, but I remember having it for the first time from Pro Q2 and thinking, wow, this is brilliant. Even the simplest of things like auto gain. Like, things like that make such a difference. Pro Q3. Not Porky 3. Pro Q3. Yeah, I mean, using Pro Q2 is still fine. Porky 3. Hi, Shaka. But yeah, how awesome. Now, this leads on to, we're going to get on to the next tune in a second, but this leads on to something that I'm doing a lot in at uni, and that is the use of AI. The use of AI in music. And I don't have a problem with using AI in that way, you know, when it's like a plugin, and you know, because it's kind of more, it's helping you to stay in a workflow. So I'm just having a look at Ven 2 now. Ven 2? Can't find it. Ven Audio, Ven Clip 2. Ven Clip 2, is that it? Ven Clip 2? Is that what you're on about? Clipper. Multi-band saturation, pre-phase emphasis, mid-side processor. Ooh. Let's have a quick look at this then, because it might be of interest to somebody, including most likely myself. Clipper. Come on. Ooh.
These brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys on my side. CJ, never gotta roll with ice. What? Yeah, I don't wanna move like that. Why you want one? Yeah, why you want act like that? Why you play hard?
Nice. Oh, cool. I've never heard of these people before. Ooh, okay. Nice.
G's around a couple yachts, mine's lost yet from the smoke. These times got me trapped.
That's really cool. That's really, really nice. It's really weird actually, because I've just been talking to Guy, surprise, surprise, about something music production related, and we were talking about Wave Shaper. Fruity has its own Wave Shaper. For those of you that don't know, a Wave Shaper is like a clipper. It's like a saturation distortion tool, and yeah, it's not something that I've used a lot, because if you overdo it, it will just sound terrible. But there are some instances, some like situations where using a Wave Shaper is like really cool. But yeah, I really like that. It looks really cool. It's just think, like, for those of us who've been like producing for a while, how far we've come in our lifetimes. And also something that I was researching recently about the future of music production. Something that I had not even really thought about before. And that was... So, okay, we'll start with the premise of, you know, if you've got some old projects that maybe you did in a different DAW, And now that DAW might not even exist, or it's from such an old project that it won't even open up anymore. So the thought process is, you know, in the future, even within 5 years' time, and especially in 10, 15, 20 years' time, how are you going to future-proof your music? How are we all going to know how people made music years and years ago? Like in 100 years' time, how are we going to know? How are we going to open up these projects? How are we going to be able to, you know, I don't have an answer, by the way, but it's something that's been on my mind now. Like I said, I've been on this master's. It's just made me so aware that I have a limited understanding of music production, because I am so open now to all of these other things that I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah, it's a really important point, because I already know that I can't open up certain projects of mine because there might be plugins that aren't supported anymore. I might not have the iLock thing for it anymore, or do you know what I mean? It's something that I want just to plant that seed in your heads as music producers going forward. How are you going to future-proof yourself? Now, something that I've done over the years is I've kept installers for everything. I've kept installers for certain discontinued synths that I've used to use. You should be able to get some stuff off archive websites like... one of you will probably know the name of it. But there's it's like a time machine website where you can get old installers for near enough everything. So it's just something that I think would be good to think about. If at the very least, I think it might be web archive, direct vinyl. Yeah. At the very least, I think bouncing down everything into stems and having that to one side is a good idea. So I just feel like that's something that I would like to mention, that it's something that I'm now considering. I spoke to a friend of mine, Digital Mafia, about this a few years ago now, and what he's doing is he's like making versions of his tunes at the highest rendering that he possibly can. I would guess that would be so like Control Force's 32-bit floating. Is that going to be the same as sample rate as well, though? Because that's 32-bit floating is just part of it, isn't it? So that could be so this is what I mean, like having stuff at 32-bit floating might be all right, but it might just be only one part of it or just one consideration. But it's just something that I think that we should be aware of. If you want your music, if you want to be an old person, right, and you want to go, I'm going to open up one of these projects that I did when I was in my 20s or my 30s, and you'd like it to work again, or even for, like I say, for the future of mankind, for music producers of the future who want to know how we used to make music in years and years and years to come when we're all gone, it would be really nice to have a way of like having that happen. So that's what I'm learning about at the moment, is about the whole side of like Max for Live. I'm reading about the guy who made that, and all of the thought process that goes behind the coding and what is actually in our DAWs, even down to things like to make it more accessible. They used Western standardization of scaling, and they moved away from classical notation and manuscript as a way to not limit people who didn't have a classical training background. Honestly, it's so broad. The things that we take for things that we take for granted, even down to MIDI, and also even down to a QWERTY keyboard. You know, the fact that we use a QWERTY keyboard. This is the thing about technology, right? There are some parts of technology that are going to be here for a really long time, but there are going to be other types of technology that will take over, and there'll be different ways of processing our music. And these things are not things that I've ever thought about in this much detail before. So I'm like, what? So yeah, I just find it so interesting. So yeah, all of these things that we take for granted, they should be thought about, I think, just to future-proof ourselves. With that said, I'm going to move on to the next tune now. But yeah, thank you, Josh. Thank you so much for sending this in. Please don't forget as well, you can win a 3-hour music production or DJing thingamabob with me. The link is at the top of the screen. Please go and get yourself some raffle tickets, because you're going to help me pay off my tooth thing by buying a few tickets. And you could be, hello, Kid Dynamo. And you could also win a 3-hour lesson with me. So there you go. You're welcome. You're welcome, GLF. GLF? Gluff? JLF. Hello, Kid Dynamo. See, Kid Dynamo is a good example of this. So Kid Dynamo uses Acid Pro. We were just literally talking about future-proofing our music, and in the future, are our projects going to open up in the future on new systems with God knows what, you know, operating systems in the future we're going to be using, you know, and it's just a good thing to think about as, you know, how are we going to future-proof ourselves and our ability to open up old projects from yesteryear on a new system. Hopefully there'll be some kind of like virtual machine, like partition that you'd be able to kind of like upload, open up stuff on. I mean, that's how I would do it, but who knows? Yeah, emulators would probably be a way to do it, as long as it's open source, because this is another thing, right? Anything that's not open source is also going to fall folly to this. So open source is going to become even more important in the future. So yes, as E&G Music, storing files and productions in one place is not a good idea. Yep. Export stems is a good emergency option. I think for now that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to make sure that I'm going to export things to stems, because at least if I've got that, then that's great. But again, like I said, keeping hold of my installers for certain things. Installer, yeah, I lick your bum bum down. I've got the new version now, and I can still open my stuff from 2006 if I tell it where the samples are. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Did I clean up the hard drive? Yeah. I've still got to take Cybertown. What was that game called? It's not called Cybertown, but from me saying that, you're going to know what I'm on about. What's it called? Not called Cybertown. What's the game I'm on about? Come on. Cyberpunk. Yes, thank you, Nick Rowland. Fucking Cybertown. That just shows you how often I fucking played that game. I tried to play it after playing Starfield, and I'd missed Starfield too much at the time. So Cybertown. Yeah, that can come off, and that's another 60 gig. So yeah, I've got another 160 gig on my C drive again now. So yeah, that's definitely a good thing. On with the show. Skooler and Flare is next, and this is a track called Everything.
I give you my everything, will you be my everything? Night unfolds and you're standing near. Every breath pulls the moment clear. You draw the way, I will walk it through. Every step brings me back to you. Can we always be this way? Hold me close, don't let it fade. Every heartbeat feels the same. Calling out your name. If I give you my everything, will you be my everything? Can we always be this way? Holding me close all morning light and you're still right here. Every word that you speak feels clear. All I need is the time we make. Every moment is ours to take. Can we always be this way? Turn the night into the day. Every heartbeat feels the same. Calling out your name. If I give you my everything, will you be my everything? Can we always be this way? Holding me close all day. Stay with me, don't let go. Every truth is all I know. If the world should fall away, we will still remain this way. If I give you my everything, will be my everything. Can we always be this way? Holding me close all day.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Is this an AI track? No. I am very, very sure that Skooler and Flare are I think they're a husband and wife duo from memory. And the wife's singing on it. I'm nearly 100% sure that that's the setup. Let's have a look in my... It's Leanne. They okay, so it's 3 dance music producers and friends from Newcastle, Belfast. Skooler and Flare was created during lockdown, pooling our many years in the industry into everything from old school dance to new school EDM. Um, yeah, I'm sure that she's singing on that. That doesn't sound. Oh my god! If that is AI, then that's very good AI. No, it's her. I've just checked another email. Yeah, it's her. I thought so. What a voice. What a voice. Oh my. Yeah. Yeah, she is a very good vocal. How good? How good is that vote? And you can tell there's not been a lot of touch up on it, if any. Yeah, guess the AI. So yeah, I mean, we do have a track in a bit that uses AI vocals, which is fine. I don't really have an opinion on that because we also have had tracks today which were using singers from Fiverr. You know, I think that it's. Do you know the only time when it's an issue for me is if the whole thing has been done via a prompt and you know you've not done anything yourself in a DAW. And you know, in time I might have to get out of my cave with these things, but I think what I like as a music producer is to hear someone's expression and, as far as is possible, their authenticity. Now, that's not to say that there can't be authenticity, and this is more of a philosophical point than anything else. It's not to say that you can't have authenticity through doing your own track via a prompt. It's just not something that I personally can relate to in the same way as someone who's finding their authenticity through their particular workflow, the VSTs and the plugins, and even down to the effects chain that they use, which again is another interesting point that years ago, and not even that long ago, authenticity would never have been attributed to computer music. You remember, like, way back in the beginning, it would never have been, you know, people, you know, scoffed at it. But times change, and we now see it being relative, and the importance of that shift. And perhaps in the future, that will happen again with AI. So, yeah, the general bounce AI tracks at Ace, yeah. That was all my fault because me and Guy introduced him to Suno when he was at mine for 3 days after we'd been out. So that track that I just played, I don't think you can find it anywhere at the moment. I'm going to double check. Oh, it drops on the 28th of November. So in 10 days' time. Unfortunately, they didn't give me their internet social media details. I'm just trying to do a quick search now. I think they are on, yes, they are on SoundCloud. That's got to be them. There can't be two Skooler and Flares. It's a very specific name, isn't it? Specific. Listen to it. No, I don't think that's them. That's really weird. Skooler and Flare. Maybe it is them. I don't know. I'm unsure. I will speak to them first. I have asked them to send me their social media details, and when I get the actual proper details, I will put them on the YouTube. Don't want to do that yet until I know which one it is. But yeah, how amazing is that tune? The only thing I was unsure of, which did stick out to me as being a bit like letting it down. There was a very specific drum roll, and it sounded like a very generic do 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 like a fill drum fill. I didn't like it. That was the only thing that I heard that I was like, nah. I think that could be better, or we be better just not having it in there at all. And I mean that with the greatest of respect, because the rest of it's amazing, absolutely amazing. But it just sounded like it was maybe just put in there as a placeholder and then forgotten about, or just left. Like that will do. Can you show us that part? And try. Should be able to find it. Hang on.
Calling out your name. If I give you my everything.
That bit. It just sounds really stuck on. Yeah, that's something that, and even the fact that it was panned left and right, it just sounded like a really, I don't mean this in a bad way, by the way, but just a lazy thing a lazy placeholder. It's something that I would do, and then I'd be like, okay, well, I'll go back to that and work on that bit. What would sound better is maybe like a reverse reverb piano, because it goes into a piano. So that minor chord there, just have like a big washed out reverb and reverse it in. Something like that would be better, just to fill in that gap. But definitely, I would get rid of that. But yeah, everything else I loved about it, and the main thing is that vocal's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much, Skooler and Flare, for sending that in. Next up, we have got the amazing Agathon Scrolls. Here we go.
Ничего не делай, кто-то и
Прошел уже месяц, а вот и второй. Пора бы расстаться уже с этой норой. Но электричество есть, а телевизора нет. И голоса говорят в моей голове. Ничего не делай, не испортишь ничего. Ничего не делай, ничего не делай, не испортишь ничего. Ничего не делай, ничего не делай, не испортишь ничего. Ничего не делай, ничего не делай, не испортишь ничего. Ничего не делай,
Wow. Oh my goodness. Agathon Scrolls, take a bow. Link is in the chat, guys, if you want to go and check out more of Agathon Scrolls stuff. This is a side project that they are doing called Capusta. Awesome. Awesome work. Really, really, really liking this. Yeah, really, it set me in a mood, you know, especially in the breakdown. Like, it was it almost made me think about like Buddhas and like meditation. That's where it was putting me. Really cool. I imagine this played and sang live would be very good. Yeah. Like a come down track. Yeah. Yeah. It's just a track about depression. Yay. Well, I love it. I think it's really, really important to be able to express all of your emotions within music. So just saying it's just a track about depression. That's the most, like, this is the greatest thing about music, is the interpretation per each individual person that hears it. It hits them in a very different way. So even though your initial or your real intention, your personal intention was to express depression, for me, I was feeling that it was very mantra orientated and meditative, which is really interesting that we can all have different experiences from music. That's art though, isn't it? You can look at a painting and it can trigger you, or it can make you feel, you know, all kinds of things. Yeah, I really liked it. It's 2 years old. Wow. Yeah, I really like it. Did you do the vocals yourself? JLF says, felt like it should have been in the Trainspotting soundtrack. Yeah. It's deep. It felt deep and it felt authentic. And that's all you can hope for, really, is that our music will reach someone in that way. Yes, it's your voice. Yeah, I thought so. That's so cool. I love it when you guys use your own vocals in your music. Maybe one day I'll be brave enough to do the same, but I find it very, very inspiring. Yeah, very cool. Thank you, mate. Thank you so much for sending it in. And there's a link again. Next up, we've got Shawn Cartwright and a remix of Noctiva, More Than You Know. we go. Noctiva, More Than You Know, Shawn Cartwright remix. Wow. Such a solid, uplifting trance, banging trance tune. Personally, I loved the acid in it. Really, really nice. So well balanced. Really, really cool ideas in there. I've not heard the original, but I really, really like this. I think it's awesome. Yeah. 10 out of 10, as JD Noyes says. Hello, Moxie. Yeah, really, really good. Really, really good. Very solid tune. Ryan says, with the acid, it could cross over to a side trance track. I agree. All of the above. Wow. Yeah, if you guys can go and follow Shawn, there is his SoundCloud URL. I've just reached my limit of people that I can follow on SoundCloud, so I'm going to have to unfollow people. I didn't even know there was a limit, but yeah, 2,000 is the limit. So, yeah. Next up, we have got Chase Water. And this is a track called Do You Want Me? Right then. Chase Water is in the chat as well. Everyone say hello. Hello, Chase Water. Can we get a shout out, please, Richie? Okay, here we go.
Okay, everybody rave all night. If you wanna rave all night, everybody rave all night. If you wanna rave all night, okay, everybody rave all night. If you wanna rave all night, everybody rave all night. If you wanna rave all night, okay, I don't care about what you think. If you wanna have a drink, you should come with me. Just let it be. If you're gonna go your way, baby, I won't make you stay. Everybody, you can play if you want it. You want it, okay. You want it, okay.
Oh, Chase Water, thank you so much for sending this one in. What a cool party track. Love it. Lovely vocal. Very Hannah Lang, doof doof. Yeah, I love this. I think it's really cool. It's very cheeky, very energetic. And yeah, very current sound as well. This is all, the new breed of hard house that's coming in. I love it. I'm here for it. Yeah, it's a great track. Great track. Where was the vocal from? I think you said actually, didn't you, in your email? You might have said. Splice. Yeah. Do you know what? Splice is really good for stuff. Yeah, obviously. Because you found this. This is so cool. So cool. Yeah, I love it. Not really much else to say, really. That's a good thing. Oh. And yeah, make sure everyone that you go and follow Chase Water over on SoundCloud. Keep sending these in, please, mate. Have you got it signed? Yeah, it's nothing was standing out as being off about it, or the mix down was very well balanced. How long is it? 4 minutes 30. There you go. That's what they want these days. Only just finished at the weekend. Amazing. Yeah, get it sent out now, mate. I think it's ready. It's ready to go out and, hopefully signed. So yeah, thank you for sending it in. Yay! Legend. Honestly, like the standard of music that we have on the demo drop, it's very, very rare these days that I ever have to say I can't play that. And even when I've done that, I do offer some feedback and, say, please send something else back when you've, fixed X, Y, and Z. And even then, it will always just be something that makes it not listenable. Do you know what I mean? It would have to be something quite severe. But honestly, the standard of a lot of your music is just brilliant. It's brilliant. Controlful says Humber. That's my new name apparently. Humber. How is school going? Really good. Thank you. Really, really good. Really enjoying it. Next up, Silent Republic, and this is Run and Hide. There we go. That is Silent Republic. I don't know who it is. I don't know if this is someone that we know under a different name or what, but they've only got one follower on SoundCloud, which is me. So, and they've sent me quite a few. Yeah, are you in the chat or yourself? I don't think it's Random But Raw. Random But Raw is a bit more cleaner sound. This to me is more OD404, dynamic intervention, defective audio kind of influenced, and maybe a bit of Dave Owens. Yeah. It's real. This is like really, really nice. Like who else does it remind me of? Can't think at the moment. But yeah, it's really nice. I don't know. I think it might just be someone new who's new to like hard house and who's got this sound that's reminiscent of the stuff that we've been listening to for a long time. I could be completely wrong, by the way, but I hope that we will find out. Go and give him a follow, please, or them a follow. I'm assuming it's a boy because I'm sexist. But yeah, please go and give them a follow. And wow, the vocal was really cool. The sound of it was really nice. It had dynamics to it. It wasn't too polished. It had soul. As someone said, they have just now made a new genre, soulful hard house. Yeah, I like the arrangement. It's reminiscent of many different styles of artists for me from the hard house scene. I am very, very particular when it comes to the music that I play that's hard house, because of being part of this scene for 25 years. It takes a lot to impress me, but I'm very impressed. Yeah. Yeah, it could be a different one, but yeah, this is their SoundCloud anyway. But yeah, wow. We were. Loved it. Thank you for sending it in, and please keep sending in more of the same, please. Yay! Oh, wow. God, you guys are so cool. Nemo says, ooh, you will roast the one I sended. No hard sounds. Yeah, any genre is allowed in. I have all of the ones in for today, but of course, please remember, if you want your track to be fast-tracked for this day, for the day, you need to send me a message on Facebook or Instagram before 4 p.m. and let me know the email address that your email came from and the name of the track. All the details are on the screen, and also I've just put them in the chat as well. I've said Instagram from the start. It's always been Instagram as well. You can either do Facebook or Instagram. Did not know what I found you 10 minutes ago. Hey, hello newbie. Hello. Thank you for finding us. Awesome. But yeah, that's how you do it, mate. Please do send something in. But this is where you send it into. Make sure you head the email demo drop. Make sure it's a WAV or an MP3 or a private SoundCloud link, or if it's out already, just a normal SoundCloud link. Please don't leave a WeTransfer link or an expirable link, because it will take me a while to get to it, and it will probably be long expired before I get to it. If you want your track to be fast tracked, then send me a message before 4 p.m. on a Tuesday on Facebook or Instagram, and I will put it on that day's show. But it has to be on a Tuesday that you send me a message before 4 p.m. Because I have ADHD and I will forget otherwise. If you send me a message any other time, I won't remember to put it in the system. So this is just my way of working at the moment. I might at some stage have some kind of like entry system on, I don't know, like a website or something where you can enter things. I don't know. And then maybe we will prioritize subscribers. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to do that because I don't want you guys to feel pressured into subscribing. It is Tuesday today before 4 p.m. somewhere in the world. You're so right. But it has to be UK time. But I like your style. Funny. Next up, we've got Two Cults and JD Noise, and this is Pure Blood. Here we go.
Unbroken, unbowed, unpurged. Firstborn empires in ash and bone. Built thrones on graves, but left us alone. We are the shadow in the flame, the curse they fear. Without a name. Unchained race. We are the storm, the final flood, bound in silence, sealed in mud. Rise again through death and flame. Pure blood returns to stake its claim.
How cool was that? That's awesome. Thank you so much for sending that in. Yeah, the vocals were AI, but the rest of it was made in a DAW. So yeah, I love this, and I love the fact that you've used very old school techniques for it. It's released at Dwarf Records. Awesome. The contrast between the vocal and the lead sound works really well. Yeah, I completely agree. Sounds like Marky G style, says Katie Lou. Yep. How's your mum, by the way, Katie? Let me know. Status Ho likes it. No warping or other cool features like an Ableton or cool plugins. Yeah, I mean, limitation, as we always say on here, limitation breeds creativity. Another person who I mentioned earlier, Kid Dynamo, also uses Acid Pro still. And, you know, doesn't matter. In fact, having limitations can allow you to commit to a decision a lot more than having infinite amounts of possibilities, which I always personally find quite overwhelming. So I actually was probably at my most productive during my learning stage when I only had 2 gig of RAM on the computer. Everything was bounced down to audio. You know, everything was a resource. Every part of what I was doing was thought about in a thoughtful way. When it was 32-bit as well. Or x86, but 32-bit. I remember specifically when things went to 64-bit. I was like, okay, we're gonna need a bigger CPU. Cracked FL7 with some cracked plugins straight out of Dance EJ. I know, right? Yeah, but that was the thing. It was Windows XP. Gold edition, I think I had, and I had 2 gig of RAM. Yeah, I lived XP as well, but everything had to be bounced down. When I was using Cubase with freeze plugins as well. So, when I was stuck in bed for 2 weeks, made some music just from samples on TV speakers, mixed it down this week, really happy with how it sounded. Yeah, and again, that's probably a really good thing to do, is to sometimes like not have the whole what's it called now? You know, the room treatment thing, Sony. Oh, I can't even remember. My brain's not working very well today. And instead, like, make stuff on, in inverted commas, shitty speakers, because if it sounds good in that, it's going to sound good on other stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it's JD Noise. You can't put any links in the chat. That's why I ask you to send me the links via email. If you've got any more links that you want me to add, you can send them to my email and I will add them to the YouTube. So, does everyone love FL here? No one works at S1. What's S1? What's S1? S1? We have got quite a few people that are into FL Studio, which is Studio One, of course. Yes, of course. I've never used Studio One, but I know a few people that do. So yeah, again, it doesn't really matter what DAW you're using these days at all. Do you know what though? As part of my expanding as an artist, I found it very useful to use Ableton Live. Now, years ago, I had to use Ableton Live because they made us use it at university. And I was very against it to begin with because I hadn't used it. And you'll always find that if someone has never used any other plugin, any other DAW, other than the one that they like the most, they will defend it until the hilt. Once you've used two or more, in a complete way, you then realise they've all got really cool points to them. Ableton is ace for live stuff. It really is. Yes, completely agree. Bitwig. So, Nick, this is what I'm getting to. So, Bitwig is going to be my new hyper focus because Bitwig has got some amazing, very quick macro and just workflow orientated things that aren't very easy to do without Max for Live or using Patcher in Ableton and FL Studio respectively. So yeah, so that for me is going to be the next DAW that I'm personally going to be looking at, because I like to delve into this in a deeper way and find new workflow ways, find new ways of doing things that can lead to more experimentation. You don't have to do this, by the way. If you just are just getting used to music production, don't worry about any of this. Just pick a DAW, any DAW, and just have a mess around with things. What I'm talking about is more kind of like maybe learning another language to a degree, but it's more about just self-development, artist development, if you're that way inclined. But you certainly don't need to do this. But it's very, very interesting how different DAWs are really, really geared for different mindsets, for different people's way of your brain working. Ableton was a great step forward in simplifying and making it so much more accessible to someone who, for example, might not have a lot of understanding of computers, because it is very much one window, you drag and drop things, and it's very linear. If you want to go outside of that, though, you can with Max for Live, you can with Patcher, but you're kind of safe in the environment that you're working in. Bitwig is Linux, and that's why Nick Rowland is using Linux. You're such a geek. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, Nick, get a room. Oh my God. But yeah, Bitwig is going to be the next one. Reaper was another great one. I remember when Guy had a bit of a hyper focus over Reaper. But my advice is just to fucking try a few of them. We have so many, like, we have pretty much unlimited resources now. Not only have you got YouTube with some bloke in the middle of nowhere with a foreign accent with 86 subscribers who can tell you specific things about a certain plugin within a certain DAW that he's worked out. And you'll find these people on there, and they're just the most amazing people. They're just the most amazing, and that you have that ability now for free. And not only that, we now have AI where we can ask ChatGPT to literally hold our hand through the process. FL Studio now has its own AI called Gopher, which I found really interesting and helpful, because there was a certain thing that I didn't know where to find it in FL, and I just asked Gopher and it told me exactly where it was. So even as someone that's used a certain DAW for years and years, there could be some things that, you know, aren't maybe optimal about the way that I do things, but you just do it because you're used to doing it in a certain way. JLF says, have you tried using your Stream Deck for DAW workflow? I don't, but Guy does. I will at some point get a second Stream Deck for that. Or I could just use another page on my existing Stream Deck. But yeah, that's a really good use of the Stream Deck. But yeah, Bitwig, awesome. You sent me a link tree in Messenger. Okay. Hang on, let me just quickly find this for you. Okay, I found it. I'll just put it in the chat for you, and I will also put it in the YouTube. But yeah, it's a really exciting time for me personally right now in terms of finding new ways of doing stuff. Yeah, it's procrastination, but it's actually not at the same time, because it's not time wasted, it's time experienced. And I'm absolutely 100% positive that I'm going to find something interesting in Bitwig that I didn't already know, or something that I wasn't already doing, that I will either find a way to do that thing within Patcher, within FL Studio, or I will find a Max for Live plugin, or even make one myself, because I know how to do that now, or use Bitwig side by side with my other DAW, which we can also do as well. You can use a DAW within a DAW, which is so cool. Rewire. Do we still call it Rewire? Do we still refer to it as Rewire, or do we just open it up as a VST now? Happy accidents. Door Inception, yes. Oh, okay. Rewire is an old people thing now. Okay, got it. Yeah. Reason. But I'm sure you could rewire with other stuff as well. If someone rewires, slap them. But yeah, it's great that you can use a door within a door, which, you know, means that the possibilities are endless. Do not let that overwhelm you. If you are getting overwhelmed, give yourself your own limitations. You know, limit yourself to just using one synth. Limit yourself to only using 10 channels. See where that gets you. Like JLF said, limit yourself to listening on a hi-fi system. Many of Guy's tracks that he made, including Serious Sound, they were all made on a normal hi-fi system. Nothing fancy. So you just described a cat flap. There you go. But yeah, it's so cool, and it's so nice that I can have these conversations with you guys as well. As I said, I'm exploring a lot more within, you know, doing my masters, and yeah, it's just nice to open up that dialogue with you guys. And yeah, long may the demo drop continue.